Welcome on a Saturday morning, afternoon, or even, or if this is your pre-show before WWE Backlash. Thank you for tuning in to WOD today as we get ready for the continuation of the John Cena farewell tour. And this has been a great tour. As we know, Cena is our champ right now, headed into Backlash in St. Louis, Missouri, to face the hometown boy, the Viper, the Apex Predator, the Legend Killer, no other than Mr. Randy Orton. This is going to be a very, very big, spectacular match tonight. But I cannot even express the gratitude of Randy to make these picks without having to talk about some other stuff on the show today. We got so much on the show. It's a jam-packed show. You don't know who's going to be. I'm going to say their name. And just like Joe Hendry, they may appear on WOD. You don't know who that is, so definitely stay tuned for that. Also, we're going to be talking some Dark Side of the Ring right here. Had another good episode of Dark Side of the Ring, so we can't wait to talk about this. It's Saturday. We're only hours, minutes, and seconds away from Backlash and from a nightcap after Backlash. Stay tuned and watch WOD on the broadcast. Welcome back to WOD right here on the Boom Broadcasting. Dark Side of the Rings this week. Dark Side of the Rings every week has been a banger after banger episode. Not saying this is not a banger episode, but I got to kind of prelude and pre-warn you that they do this when they get around that 7th, 8th episode. They throw out a wild card. Somebody that you may have heard of, but you don't know them. You got to go do some analog back researching, go into archives. You got to call Podcast Smitty, the press, Wayne, the model. You got to call Mouthing Off with Mike. You may got to call my boy Jason from Deep, Carson. You may got to call the boys from Sideline and Savants. You got to call somebody because they throw out a name. Did you just say, I remember this guy, but I don't remember this guy? And the past 2 weeks of Dark Side of the Rings have led up to this. You know, we had the Hell in the Cell match with Nick Foley, first, him and Undertaker. First one episode of the season, great one. After that, a very good one on Ludwig Borga, where we learned so much about Ludwig Borga's outside history of wrestling that we did not know. A guy, the Hellraiser from Heineke. Then you had after that, superstar Billy Graham. And I always say Billy Graham was ahead of his time, because if he was wrestling during the Hogan 90s, 90s boom of wrestling, rock and wrestling time, he would have been that generation's Hulk Hogan. There would never been an immortal Hulk Hogan. That would have been wiped out, because everybody says, wrestling historians all say, Hogan took all of superstar Billy Graham stuff from the early part of the late 70s and early 80s and transformed it into his personality. So superstar Billy Graham was very good. Definitely go watch that. Billy Graham was a guy who was supposed to be a heel transitional champion, beat Bruno Sammartino, the longest reigning champ, supposed to have been a heel transitional champ, and got over as a heel with a baby face. People were cheering him. He was supposed to be a heel, but they got over as a babyface. So a lot of people say superstar Billy Graham is the first ever heel tweener, where he was a heel but could appeal to the masses as a babyface. So that was a good episode they did of Billy Graham. Really enjoyed that one. Then they had Big Van Vader, another good one right there. Vader, one of my favorite people, Leon White. First ever super heavyweight, doing the stuff you see Jacob Fatu now, doing the stuff like that. Vader was the first one, so that was a good one on Vader. Then they had Mr. USA, Tony Atlas, another good one. Mr. USA still out here wrestling to this day. Great story. Very great story on Tony Atlas, as he started at the top and ended up at the bottom of the card, but still has found a way to be relevant even right now in his early 70s, still lacing the boots up wrestling on indie shows and house shows all over the world right now. Still putting in work, and doing it not for the love of wrestling because he loves it, but it's his only formal job he ever had, and he's also paying his wife's medical bills by wrestling. So hey, salute to Tony Atlas for that right there. Hey, way to go. This guy needs to find a job in WWE, being a producer doing something versus having lace the boot. So come on, WWE. Come on, Triple H. Put Mr. USA, put him back to work. He could be a backstage producer, manager, anything. So the guy don't have to lace the boots. So that's our challenge to Triple H and WWE right now. Or either AEW, Tony Khan. Come on, make it happen. God deserves it. Well deserved. Then we had superstar Eddie Gilbert. Hot stuff superstar Eddie Gilbert, the king. Eddie Gilbert always said, knew about this guy. Watched a lot of his stuff. Big Memphis guy. Wanted to be the king of Memphis after the Lawyer retired. Hadn't a lot of his stuff after Jerry the King Lawler was the second coming to Jerry the King Lawler. Guy was a mastermind when it came to orchestrating great matches. Eddie Gilbert could wrestle. Hot stuff, the king. Eddie Gilbert could do it all. Tragically, we lost him earlier than what we expected. And I always say, and Jim Cornette mentioned this, and I always say this too when you watch Eddie Gilbert, he got his first big break as a producer. Look at ECW. He was the reason why Extreme Championship Wrestling switched from Eastern Championship Wrestling to Extreme Championship Wrestling with the help of somebody we know as an advocate, a wise man, and a best friend, Paulie Dangerous or Paul Heyman now. They were the cornerstones of that Extreme Championship Wrestling. Hot stuff, Eddie Gilbert did a lot of production, booking, and keeping the books of matches in ECW. Arguably one of the greatest backstage production producers ever to walk. He was a great wrestler, but he inspired to be a better booker and better production person as far as producing matches. That's why it overstimulates wrestling. And I'm not taking away, guy could wrestle with the best of them, but he was an even better booker with his great ring talent he had. Arguably, we lost him too early in life. Went to go work in Puerto Rico as a booker. Something happened, and they did talk about it, don't know what it was, but he ended up passing. They said it could have been a heart attack, anything that caused him to die. But they always say, and I say this too, if Eddie Gilbert was alive during the Monday Night Wars and was either Team WCW or Team WWF back then, of course we know WWF won because WCW folded. But just imagine the stuff he was already ahead of his time booking at ECW. If he would have been booking that stuff with the NWO and WCW, WCW may could have won the Monday Night Wars. Even though WWF won, the stuff he was booking at ECW ahead of his time, if he was booking that in WWF, WWF may have even been even bigger than where it's at now because the guy was just a genius when it came to booking. Go back and watch some of his stuff in ECW in those early days. The Sandman, Sabu, RVD, all these great people that came through the walls of hardcore in ECW. Eddie Gilbert put his stamp on them, put the stamp of approval on them, and did a lot of this stuff. Guy is very underrated. Should be in the Hall of Fame if he's not in the Hall of Fame, just for what he did as a mastermind with production. Just so good. But then you have that one episode, all these people we knew, we were associated with. We knew something about him. We knew about Billy Graham, the superstar Billy Graham. We knew about how stuff Eddie Gilbert, how mastermind he was as a booker. We knew about Mr. USA, Tony Atlas, what he did for the African-American culture back in that time frame where you didn't see that many African-Americans on TV wrestling. What he did for that. We knew about Leon White, Big Van Vader, the first ever super heavyweight to do the things he was doing. The first ever American to win the IWGP title in New Japan. We knew about Vader. We knew about the Hell in a Cell match. We was there watching it live when The Undertaker threw Mick Foley off of the cage through the table. And you heard JR say those famous words, stop the match, stop the match. We were there. Every now and then, Dark Side of the Rings has a person that you got to go back and look up. And even myself, somebody who watches a lot of old wrestling. Billy Jack Hayes, I remember him in the WWO. I remember him in the territories over here with Crockett in the Carolinas because Granny had him on the VHS tapes that we used to buy at the flea market. But he's a guy that I was like, remember him, but I don't remember him. Like, where was he in WWF? So even myself had to go do some research before watching this Dark Side of the Rings to find out that he was on WrestleMania 3. He fought Hercules. He had a phenomenal finishing move, the full Nelson. And that's all you can remember. He was one of those guys not in the tier with Brutus the Barber, Beefcake, Roddy Piper, and Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage, or Macho King Randy Savage. More of that guy that was a mid-carder, but an upper mid-carder that if it was a three-man tag, he was that third guy. If it was a four-man Survivor Series team, he was that fourth guy because he wasn't a true mid-carder, but he wasn't a main eventer, but he was right there. Like, if this is the line, he's that guy right here that we can call to put on the team that people will gravitate to. And when I went back and watched him, remember Billy Jack Hayes had some great matches, like I said, with Hercules, some great matches on some house shows with Hercules that I was watching. Like, okay, I kind of remember this guy. He had the black hat, had the green Oregon coat, just had this frontier about him. And, I remember when he was with a guy in WWF, they were the Oregon Lumberjacks coming out with chainsaw with Penta. I remember all that stuff. But I started thinking about Billy Jack Hayes, and I said, where do I remember this name from? Like, where do I remember it from? It's just, I don't understand. I remember he WrestleMania 3 Pontiac Silverdome, but what else do I remember about him? And the more I watched Dark Side of the Rings, the more I started remembering him not for his wrestling ability, but for the stuff he done after he was done with wrestling. The conspiracy theorists, the tied himself to big events that he was a part of, being a member of the drug cartel, being a drug mule, saying that he was there tonight, some kids, all this stuff died. I can't start remembering. Like, I remember seeing this guy pop up on YouTube and pop up on podcasts, hearing him tell all these conspiracy theories. Did I remember him being the guy that killed his wife? That was 85 years old up there in Oregon. That's why I remember this guy now. I don't remember for his wrestling ability. He was a pretty good wrestler when I went back and watched a lot of his footage the other day. But I remember him for all this stuff after wrestling. So when you look at Dark Side of the Rings, they did a good job. And they were able to get Billy Jack Hayes to do this interview while he's incarcerated. He's locked up right now, waiting trial for killing his wife, second-degree manslaughter, voluntary manslaughter, killing his 85-year-old wife son with dementia. And as they started going through this one right here, I said, hold on. The stuff they naming, I remember reading this stuff, hearing this guy talk about it. The first one they talked about going up to Calgary, to Canada, to train with legendary Stu Hart in the Hart Dungeon. How Stu Hart threw him out because I just was not a good fit for him up there. Stu Hart, you get thrown out of the Hart Dungeon. First of all, if you make it through the initial phase to be invited to wrestle in the dungeon, you got to be pretty damn tough. Because, Stu's going, we heard stories about Stu Hart. How he would try to break your arm shoulder that first day to see if you really wanted this. Try to separate your shoulder, dislocate your shoulder. So if Stu Hart throws you out, you got to start wondering, is this guy all right? But then you got to remember Pat Patterson put him with Kenta and Parker. They became the Oregon Lumberjacks. I watched some of those matches. I do remember the Oregon Lumberjacks on some of those old VHS tapes that Granny had. I remember watching Billy Jack Hayes as the Frontier on some of those VHS Granny had. But this is where it gets weird at with this guy. He contacted Dark Side of the Rings while in jail and asked if they could do a Dark Side of the Rings on him. As we always talk about, Dark Side of the Rings is about the rise and fall of great stars, or the fall to rise of great stars. Where are they at now? Did they leave too soon? The remembrance they left on wrestling. This guy didn't really leave nothing on wrestling because he was not a big name guy. Now, I will say in that Oregon region territory, he was a big name guy. But when he traveled to other territories, to the Carolinas, to over there Pacific Wrestling Federation, down to Florida, up there to New York, he wasn't a big guy. He wasn't like a Ric Flair or Arn Anderson, Ricky Dragon Steamboat, or Rowdy Piper. He wasn't one of those guys. He was just a guy. But then it starts going more into the downward spiral of this guy. Tell him why he really got released from the WWF, which is WWE now. He overdosed on a plane, on pain pills. And they released him, and he told a lie that he got released because he was no-show, and they said no, the truth. They found the letter that they wrote saying this is why we're releasing you. Then he went to go create OWF. After getting released from WWF, he goes back to Oregon and creates OWF to try to compete against a WWF that's already got a Main Street market. So that washed out. OWF, they said, was founded off of mafia money, drug money, all that stuff, all the type of money you don't want back in the Wrestling Federation. This guy went in the back alley and found it to start a federation. So you had that to talk about on Dark Side of the Rings. Then this is when I started saying, I remember this guy even more now. Being on the Hannibal TV podcast on YouTube, when he talked about being connected to the double homicide of 2 kids found dead on a train track. That a drug deal went wrong. He was the guy there to kind of be the enforcer. They had to kill these kids, and he left on the train track. Then they found out this was another lie the guy told. So he's a conspiracy theorist. Like, he ties himself into so much stuff. Then he goes on. But the thing is, he was so good, he tricked the grieving mother and the private investigator, having them really think that he was the guy when they said, hold on, we can't tie you to this. We have forensic evidence that does not have your DNA nowhere near the scene of the crime. Why are you jeopardizing yourself telling a lie that you've done this? Then he goes and tells another lie that Vincent Kennedy McMahon Sr. is his father, and Vincent Kennedy McMahon Jr., known as Vinnie Mac, is his biological half brother. But then the worst of it all is now he is incarcerated, serving a sentence till he's found guilty. Right now, innocent till proven guilty. We don't know. We got to say that he's innocent till proven guilty and in the judicial system of killing his 85-year-old wife that a lot of people thought he married her as a scam for more money because, he was homeless, moved in with his former tag partner, said he moved in to take care of the guy, but really was just free riding for what the guy's son said. Was just free riding to ride with his dad, all that good stuff. But they said he killed his wife as a mercy rule because she didn't want to suffer from dementia no more, and there's nothing to say that. This Dark Side of the Ring was the one that you're like, okay, this is the weird one. They give you that weird one when they get in the middle of the season where you be like, oh man, whoa, where was this one going? Like, I'm just lost on this one. That's what we saw in this Dark Side of the Rings. Very weird. Like I said, Billy Jack Hayes, don't really remember the guy that much. Just remember, after going back watching some matches, he was a good wrestler, had some good times, but I remember more of his stuff post-wrestling, the conspiracy theories, tying himself to all these big events, saying he was a drug mule running drugs from Oregon to California. When he was getting done with WWF wrestling on house shows, he was running drugs all in Kansas and New York and everywhere in between. And a lot of stuff they said the guy told was just flat out lies. Now there is a point where they said what got real because he did get beat up by some mafia people. So they said they believe that was kind of real, but they said a lot of stuff he told was fabricated lies. This Dark Side of the Rings was good. Definitely going to be keeping up with Billy Jack Hayes to see what happens with the outcome while he's waiting his trial over there in Oregon for the voluntary manslaughter that he is getting ready to face. So definitely keep it over there. Like I said, Dark Side of the Rings gives you a wild one. This was the wild one. You get that wild card one, you're like, But the guy contacted him and wanted to do it. This Dark Side of the Rings said, hey, looking at all the stuff this guy said he's done, reading all this stuff and reading the book he wrote and all these other podcasts he's been on, why not? So this one right here was the wild card one. Can't wait the next week to see next week's episode of Dark Side of the Ring. This is Sean. We're going to take a break. We're going to see who appears when I say their name for the Backlash predictions right here on WOD. This is Sean, and we'll be back after these messages.
Being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health.
Find the resources you need
to make your mental health a priority.
Love your mind.
Welcome back to WOD. It's that time. We just had a great segment talking about Dark Side of the Rings, another great episode on Vice TV. If you have not had a chance to go watch it, I encourage you to go back and watch it right before Backlash. And speaking of Backlash, it's so much going on then we got to figure it out. Because I'm like my boy Jacob 5-2. I'm all gas. No breaks with it. But before I could do that, I had to get somebody who could help me. So I've been thinking, who could I get to help me with these predictions, with these 5 matches? I'm going to see if it works. Just like Joe Hendry said, you say his name, will he appear? Doughboy, will you come? Or will Doughboy appear or will he not appear? Let's see, we said his name. And just like Joe Hendry's, he appears. We believe in Doughboy. Third, man.
What's going on, man?
Welcome back to WOD, man. Glad to have you on this week. We know you're always in the nightcap, hanging out with us in the comment box with me. Always fighting the Prayers podcast, Speedy whoever's on the nightcap. So we appreciate it. So we got 5 matches, though, boy.
Yeah, five matches, but it's going. I'm looking for the match that everybody ain't gonna see coming. That's what I'm looking for.
That's what
somebody jumping out the crowd and somebody doing this, somebody doing that. You know what I'm saying?
With these 5 matches, we start to see with Triple H that it's becoming a pattern now on any premium live event besides WrestleMania and the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Majority you're gonna get. Well, we can throw SummerSlam in there too. But majority of the nights, you're going to only get 5 to 6 matches. I'm good with it. Are you good with that? Do you want to go back to when we were getting 12 to 15 matches?
Ain't nobody got time for all the matches, bro. You be knocked out trying to stay up watching the matches. You got to start at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
You know what I'm saying? I like the format. Now, I know a lot of people say they want more, but I'm like Taz, less is more. When you got those 5 to 6 matches, that's the happy medium for me, where we're off the air by 10:30, 11, and I'm still good wanting more versus waiting at 11 o'clock, 11:30 at night. I remember one time WrestleMania went off at 1 in the morning.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Those days, I don't need to.
No.
So, Doughboy, me and James have left the driver's seat. We are on the back of the production truck. You threw us out of the gorilla position, sent us to the truck to work on some signals and some satellite signals. So you got the headset on. And this is Backlash in St. Louis, home of Randy Orton, the Viper. What would be the first match you put on the card to open up this show?
A lot of people probably would be surprised by it, but I got to open up with Dom and Penta. I got to, because and if it go as a good match, Dom he gonna show somebody something at this pay-per-view. I think he gonna really just let the cat out the bag. He gonna go all out on this one, because if he ain't, you ain't too sharp now. Penta gonna
Penta 1, 2, 3.
I'm trying to tell you, but if he don't get screwed by his compadre, it should be a good match. I feel like that's what I would open up with.
I'm with you on that. A good IC title match. Dom, Dark Horse. I think both of us picked him to win that Mania. So he won at Mania, won the IC title. Dark Horse. I'm like you. I don't see Dom. I hate to see Penta lose in this match. I feel like if Penta loses with some outside interference, it doesn't hurt that Penta aura that we got going right now. But we saw Rey Fenix lose at Mania to El Grande Americano, the greatest luchador ever to wrestle in wrestling, El Grande Americano. Shame on them for kicking him out of Mexico and sending him back here to wrestle. But I'm like you, if Dom can get a good win, I think Dom as a heel IC champ is good. Dom needs that, because when Dom was the NXT North American champ, he brought a little, you saw a side of Dom that you want. A guy that's got to hide, got to cheat to win. That's what you want. Cheat to win. So my pick, I got to go with Dom to stay the champ. What you think?
Yeah, me too. But I think they need to put a spin on it. Like they have interference, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dom throw Penta a chair or something, he fall out like Eddie Guerrero used to.
Oh man, the classic Eddie Guerrero, man. That would be the icing on the cake.
I'm trying to tell you, that would be classic.
Triple H, I know you're plugged into Boom Broadcast. You listen to all our stuff. Right. Doughboy just gave you the best finish to go with. The classic Eddie Guerrero. And guess what? That does not hurt Penta because he didn't eat a pin or he didn't tap out.
Right.
It doesn't hurt him at all. And then you can say, hey, Dom, like his dad, lie. cheat. I still.
Right.
So we coming off a hot IC match. We both got Dom. I think we got to cool them down this match. So now if I'm at Triple H, I'm sitting in that gorilla position. Match 2, I'm going to go with Doughboy. One a lot of people wouldn't want here, but, we kind of on a high. Dom's got everybody, cheering and booing because he won. So I got to cool them down. I'm going Gunther and Pat McAfee now.
Yeah, that's what I was picking too.
I'm going Gunther, Pat McAfee. I'm going to cool them down. This match right here just feels like it was one thrown together at the last minute on the card because they just need a match. You feel like that? I feel like it's something a little bit more.
Because Pat McAfee didn't come back at Gunther before he walked out the ring the other day, and he just looked at him like. So my thing is, okay, is this what we're gonna see Goldberg? Get what I'm saying? I don't know. This was not necessarily Goldberg, but another veteran that's want to have a little last match because I feel like they're gonna get in the ring. Pat McAfee gonna do what he do. He's gonna flip off the ropes, throw a couple elbows, gonna catch Gunther, but then Gunther gonna cheat or do something, and he gonna take it too far, and then somebody gonna come out, and then that's what's gonna be the highlight of the match.
Now they're saying, and we don't know how true this is, but sources saying that there may be some Steiner math going on in this match.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they said Big Papa Pump's been working with Pat to get him ready.
Right.
And that he'll be in Pat's corner.
Ooh.
Now, the question I'm going to ask is this a setup to get Scott Steiner back in the ring to get that match that we all want? That I think Scott would do?
Yeah.
I think Scott will put his nephew over.
Yeah.
Scott told Braun, quit stealing my moves. And
right.
I think for them to end it, Scott will definitely put him over. We know that. So could this be the match to set up a potential Scott-Braun Breaker match later on down the road if Scott shows up? I'm a firm believer that Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump, would not put that out there on social media if he won't plan to be there. I just don't see that type of person.
I'm going to go and tell you. What if you see Pat McAfee walk out with the chain on his head, the little chain thing on his head?
Oh, man, if he do that, then there's only one more thing. He can't come out there, hey, yo, Pat McAfee saw
no.
He got to come out with that sour,
right.
If you hear me.
Right, yeah.
Till this day, I tell everybody, whenever I'm at work, and the fire department is right beside the office, when everybody fire truck rolls out their sirens, I yell down the hallway, Scott Steiner, holler if you hear me. What are you talking about? And only one person watch wrestling. When I do it, he bust out laughing. Right.
That would be something to look forward to. I did see what Scott Steiner said, so we never know, man. I'm gonna tell you like this though, if that do happen, crowd gonna go crazy.
Oh, they're gonna go crazy. Scott Steiner, man, the guy just. Everybody like him, man. Whether he's a good little face, you like him.
Right.
Now, like you said earlier, too, there is a setup because Goldberg wants to do a match with Gunther.
Yeah.
Not that he wants to wrestle Gunther. I feel like Goldberg and Gunther is a step down from Gunther. Goldberg in the past couple matches just ain't looked good to me.
No, he looked terrible when he did with Undertaker. He like to kill the Undertaker.
Yeah, that concussion messed him up.
Right.
I don't want to see him in a match with Gunther and not be in the best ring shape. And, some guy with Gunther get hurt because Gunther, I feel like, is a good heel that you need to keep on the show on a regular basis to, have somebody chasing Jey Uso if you're not going to have Seth chasing them.
Right.
So I'd rather see Scott Steiner because I feel like that Scott Steiner could set something up with him and Braun Level down the road. This match right here, this is an easy pick. We go, Doe. I'm gonna let you go first. Who you taking?
Gunther.
I can't go against him. I picked him to win at Mania, and I was wrong. Jey Uso.
I like Pat McAfee, but I'm just saying, man.
Gunther losing. The only people he lost to is Sammy, Cody, and a Jey Uso. Even Jey Uso. You can't knock Jey Uso. The man is on one hell of a ride right now.
Right. Yeah, but how many times did Gunther beat him before, though?
What, four times?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So you can't not Jay. I mean, people say, well, Jay Uso it's gonna hurt Gunther's resume. No, I tell everybody, he's on a hell of a ride. You know, he's got something special. So having McAfee beat him, you might well then just give him his contract and say, thank you for your services. You no longer need in WWE.
Right.
Gunther should win this match in 5 minutes. And like you said, either set something up with Gunther and Goldberg or Gunther and Scott Steiner.
It's gonna be somebody because
to get that first match with Steiner to get them Braun.
Right, because if I was Pat McAfee, because that first chest slap, I'm going when soon as he hit, I'm going straight to coma.
Yes, sir. Hey, I'm tapping out, and he ain't even got me in the hole. I quit, rep. Don't want no more.
Ring the bell. Ring the bell.
So we had Dom and Penta, we had Gunther and McAfee. So I'm gonna throw it back to you. So you back on, you got the headset back on. Who's our third match? That mid-card match of the show.
Me personally, I would want to go ahead and put Becky and Lyra out there to go, because I think that Bayley gonna end up running out because something gonna happen. I thought about this the other day for some reason. I don't know why it come in my head, but I can't think of the girls' names, but it don't tip my tongue. But the two girls that jumped Io Sky the other day, I got a feeling that they're gonna be in cahoots with Becky Lynch somehow. And one of them or somebody they're gonna come out and they're gonna try to cheat for Becky Lynch. And then that's when Bayley gonna come out and it's gonna be a big smorgasbord and Lyra gonna keep the title. I don't think she's gonna drop that title to Becky Lynch. Not coming back just like that.
And my girl, the prodigy, Roxanne Perez gonna
her. Yeah, Roxanne Perez. Yeah.
Roxanne Perez jump Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah.
And then Becky. I can see that happening.
Yeah. I just thought about it the other day when I was watching them get Io Sky. I said, man, it's gonna be because Triple H ain't gonna just have you basically 5 matches and just y'all go to bed. It's gonna be something that when you go to bed, you be like, I can't figure out why that happened. So you got to tune in Monday night. You got to tune in Tuesday.
Put a piece of the puzzle together.
Yeah, then you got to tune in Friday. Come on, I mean,
This one is hard for me. I mean, since Becky's came back, I have not been a big Becky supporter over the past year and a half, 2 years since her last match. I haven't. I go back to the Becky that I like was the Irish last kicker.
Yeah.
When Nia busted her nose.
Yeah.
She was in the crowd on SmackDown, blood all over her shirt, blood all over her face. And I said, man, now this is a woman Stone Cold Steve Austin right here.
Right.
Then I just think they took it too far with her with this band gimmick and have her just win. I still was upset about the SummerSlam match, squashing Bianca. I feel
man. I still ain't got over that. It didn't make sense.
No, and Bianca bounced back. She credit to Bianca. She survived and bounced back. Most people don't. When you get squashed like that, you don't survive it. That's it.
Yeah, but payback's a bitch though.
It is.
That's all I'm gonna say.
I feel like this match, I'm going to go with you. As bad as I know they want Becky to say she's won every woman's title, there'll only be one eluder then, that U.S. title on SmackDown, which I think she'll get in a few years down the road.
Yeah.
As bad as they want it to happen, I don't think Becky does it this time. I think Valkyria, like you, something happens to get a DQ where Becky don't lose clean, but Valkyria goes over. Valkyria beat Becky at NXT for the NXT title, so they could say, okay, this is the one back for Becky to get a win back, but I'm like you. I don't see that coming. I'm going Valkyria.
I think it'll end up being a triple threat match for us all over with.
Right. There's going to be some interference somewhere. If there's any match for interference, this is the one.
Yeah.
So that's leading us down to 2 matches. And we know what the main event is, so we know what our next match is, a fatal 4-way. It's not a WWE pay-per-view without a triple threat or a fatal 4-way match. But I'm shocked. Before I get into this match, though, I'm shocked.
Why?
You mean to tell me a WWE premium live event does not have a tag match on it?
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, Triple H. What happened to all the tag team wrestling?
You're right.
The New Day's not up there. The Street Profits. So both of your tag champs not on the show.
Oh, I ain't paying no attention to that.
I just noticed when I said that there's no tag match up here. Triple H ain't never been a fan of tag team wrestling. He's starting to show it more and more now. Me, I'm a fan. I love.
Yeah, but dog, you can't have it. You got too many people that's to have all these titles.
Right.
You can't do that with all these titles.
And so that means the tag match probably be showcased on. We probably see it on SmackDown, but I'm surprised that we don't have a tag match for this show. So now I'm 34 way the U.S. title. LA Knight, the former champ. Yeah. Drew McIntyre, Scottish Psychopath, Priest, former world heavyweight champ, I think Priest was the U.S. champ. And then the champ. From coast to coast, post to post, I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna dog walk your ass.
You got what I mean?
I'm on gas, no brakes with it. The most over heel in WWE right now, Jacob Fatu.
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you this, man.
Mm-hmm.
This match is getting ready to set up Roman Reigns' new clique.
That's it.
I'll tell you why. Because Jacob gonna be about to win this match, and Solo gonna mess it up and let Drew McIntyre win this match.
That's it.
That's who Solo want to win this match. So once that happens, and Jacob is beefing Solo, Roman Reigns gonna swoop right in and come on back and join my bloodline.
That's it.
And once he get enough people, then they're going after Seth. So Jacob might be the extra person. Because think about it. Let's talk about this.
That's a good callback.
Yeah, but it just popped in my head. Think about it. You remember when Jacob first got to WWE?
Mm-hmm.
Remember him and Braun Breaker was staring at each other inside the ring? Yep. He's the one going to cancel out Braun Breaker. Roman Reigns going to cancel out Seth Rollins. Mm-hmm. And Seth Rollins' third member, I think it's going to be A-Town Down.
And that's what I've been saying.
I think it's going to be him.
It's Austin Theory.
Austin Theory. So, and one more person going to cancel out Austin Theory. And if Roman Reigns pulled the string like he want to, which I doubt it happened, I would love him to bring Zilla on up. Oh, my Lord. Woo! Lord.
Zilla is a reality wrestler. And I tell everybody, when you get dropped off at Booker T, when they take you off that indie circuit and lock you in at Booker T, they're cleaning you up and polishing you up.
Yeah.
So that's your next step is NXT or WWE.
Right. If he think about it, Roman can pick who he want now.
Yeah.
Jey Uso, he already doing a little title run. You can get Jimmy, but Jimmy be the extra person, but I still think you bring Zilla up. Boy, Lord have mercy.
Zilla is coming. He coming. They don't. I keep telling him, he said, when is going to happen? I said, listen.
When you least expect it.
You to Houston, Texas to work with Booker T.
Yeah.
Here's promotion.
Right.
Without him saying, okay, you're on your way. Let me go ahead and get you ready. So when you get there, we can go ahead and insert you in.
I think the last time I saw when Booker T come on the big Titantron and told him that Zilla, what do you call him? What's his slogan?
I forgot just that quick. I can't even think of it.
I forget. Well, you know what I'm talking about. He said that's dead now, and he got jumped in the ring. I said, okay, the clock is ticking. Clock is ticking, and he already beefing with Booker T too. The clock is ticking.
Book getting ready.
Yeah, he getting ready.
Talk about what you said because I could see Solo interfering for McIntyre to win this match.
Right.
Because McIntyre told Solo, I got no problems with you. It's your other side of the family.
Right.
Jay, Jimmy, and Roman that I got problems with. So what does Solo do to continue to stay on McIntyre's good side? Cost Jacob the match.
Right. But I mean, who wouldn't want somebody like Drew McIntyre on his side? You know, he take out somebody anytime. You've never see it coming. All of a sudden, he about like Randy Orton with the RKO. That boot come out anywhere.
This is a hard one to pick right here. It is. It is. Especially when you made that callback about Drew, because him and Solo got history of not wanting to mess with Solo because he told Solo that. And I'm like, I can take LA Knight out. He ain't winning. LA Knight don't title no more. The guy is over way more than they expected him to be, so he's still over.
It's time for him to make it like a tag team run with somebody.
That's right. Priest, I just feel like Priest need to be back on Raw. I think on SmackDown, he just gonna lose his way because you got Cody, Jacob, Solo, Roman, and the list goes on. I think on Raw, Priest can kind of still stay in that circle with the World Heavyweight title.
It need to be back with Rhea.
Right. He'll be with Rhea. He's far from it on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Jacob and Drew. So that leaves us down to Jacob and Drew. Who you taking?
If I had to pick, I want to go with Jacob, but I believe Solo gonna screw him because of what Nick Aldis said on SmackDown the other night. And it makes sense now because you can see how Solo been talking. You know that all this stuff ain't sincere.
Right. It ain't sincere.
But where the other two been at?
I don't know what G.O.D. at. When Tonga Low got hurt in the War Games match.
Right.
Tama Tonga, I don't know what Tama Tonga had. He didn't get hurt. I don't know where he at. He ain't been on TV.
Nope.
And I do know that Bronson Reed is about one turn away from being ready to be back on TV.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, think about it.
You got to throw him back in the wheel. You got to throw him back in the wheel.
That's what I'm saying, but think about it.
Mm-hmm.
If Drew Solo screwed him and Drew win, then what's gonna happen is Jacob gonna come out there, he gonna clean house. Then your boy gonna come back and he ain't gonna suspect it, and he gonna turn on him. And then Solo got his clique, Roman got his clique, and Seth Rollins got his clique.
That's it. And bad as I don't want to see Bronson turn on Jacob.
I don't want to see it.
Go back to that picture they took that was on Instagram with both of them, America's Most Wanted. I said, man, that is a hell of a tag team right
Well, who you telling?
I said, all they need is a Paul Heyman or a Teddy Long to be their manager.
That's what they need to bring back. Teddy Long. Paul Heyman taking them. Bring back Teddy Long. He need to be with Street Profits. He need to be with Street Profits.
You need to be Street Profits.
Right. That's what we need to be with.
I just feel like that. I'm gonna go Jacob. I hate to pick against my boy. That's my boy.
Yeah.
I'm a Jacob guy.
Me too.
I'm gonna take Jacob in this one. Now, our main event in St. Louis, Missouri. Homer Randy Orton. He is a 14-time world champion. He's chasing that number 17 number like Cena has now. Cena now is the all-time holder.
Right.
Cena said after he won the belt that this year he was going to kill wrestling and stay tuned.
Yeah.
And he was going to retire as the champ and take this belt home because he felt like nobody in WWE is worthy to wear the same belt that Bruno Sammartino won, Superstar Billy Graham, Roman Reigns, HBK, Stone Cold, Bret Hart, Psycho Sid.
Yeah.
The list goes on and on and on and on and on. Ric Flair got the boy out there. Ooh,
oh, yeah.
Ooh. This right here is a good match because two people that know each other like the back of their hands.
Right.
I expect this to be. Can Cena do another 45-minute match? I don't know. I don't know. The one with Cody kind of got me worried because you felt like sometimes he got a little lost.
Yeah. It was too slow.
Too slow. It was too slow.
Everybody, when everybody's sitting at the audience and they looking like, come on, man. No. But I'm gonna tell you though, Cena gonna have Randy will speed it up and slow it down.
Yeah.
Speed it up, slow it down.
Randy can call, he gonna carry this one. He's gonna have to carry
it. He gonna have to. But look, is this a get back match though?
That's what I'm worried because you gotta remember the last time they fought, Cena went over.
Yeah.
And is this a good way to not have to have Randy beat Cody to take the belt off Cody by having them beat Cena? Because sooner or later, Cena cannot leave this year right here. We're going into we're in May and we're in the beginning of May.
Yeah.
Cena cannot leave WWE without going on the redemption tour of I had to refine myself and go out as a face, go out as a fan favorite. He can't leave out as a heel. He cannot. I don't see Cena wanting to do that. So is this the match he lose to start the redemption tour of the face turn? That I sold my soul to The Rock to win the title.
Right.
I win the title. but then I lost it because I gained everything and lost the title, and now I want to go out on a good way. Is this the match, or does Cena continue to destroy a wrestler?
So when is his last real event?
I think Survivor Series is it. I don't think he's doing nothing out Survivor Series. I think he said
Survivor Series
Survivor Series around about November.
November, right? Yeah.
And they do another show in December, but I don't think he's doing it. I think that Survivor Series, Monday Night Raw in December, maybe the Monday Night Raw before the new year comes in, the last one of the year.
Yeah.
Done.
So let me ask you this then. Okay.
25, don't forget. Now count how many it's been. It was 25 before Mania. So he should be down like the 20 more appearances.
Yeah. So think about this. Okay. He got the title 17 times?
17. He's the man. He the man.
Okay. Before he retire, he gonna have an 18. Because I think if, like you said, if
he can raise the bar now when you can't catch him.
Right. So if he drop it, that Randy Orton, he disappear maybe a month, come back, then he do his appearances again. Then if Randy still got the title, it'll be him, Randy, and Cody in a triple threat match. Then they may cheat again if he's still a heel.
Still run the heel run, okay?
And get the title for 18 times. And then once he get 18 solidified, because Randy can catch him.
Yeah, Randy can catch him.
Right.
And I keep saying Randy gonna catch him.
Right.
Triple H is not going to let Cena be the most reigning winning champ when his boy Randy Orton is still going and in the best shape of his life that we see. I mean, Randy's been in good shape, but right now, this is the best ring shape we ever see Randy Orton.
I ain't lying, man. I ain't lying. And that's Triple H's
that's his right hand man.
Basically showed him the way.
Yeah, Triple H led him.
Yeah. And you think about it. Ric Flair, anybody want Randy to pass him anyway.
Well, Rick said it. Now he has retracted and said, I wanted Cena to do it. But Rick said a long time ago, if anybody can do it, if it ain't Triple H, it better be Randy Orton. It better be Randy Orton.
So Triple H never got hurt, man. He couldn't wrestle anymore. He would have it already.
He would have got it.
But you're right, though.
Edge would have got it.
Yeah. But is it a title that Cena ain't never had, though?
Cena's won everything except anything in NXT, but everything on the main roster he has.
That's what he's going to do then. If he dropped this title, he probably going to go to NXT and try to get one of them titles. Why wouldn't you?
I mean, he'll solidify himself.
Think about it. Everybody else done it.
He beat the Bailey. I hate to say it, Bailey's the only one who's ever won every title in NXT, except one, and all the main roster titles. So he been that cat. Well, the Miz, two-time Grand Slam champ.
Right.
And they talk with those two. Cena does one thing Cena has not. He's not a two-time Grand Slam champ. The Miz is the only one.
Is it really the only one?
He's the only one. Now, Cena's a Grand Slam champ. But the Miz is the only person to win it, a Grand Slam champ twice. The Miz has won everything in WWE besides a Royal Rumble.
Oh, Lord.
He's
I just like The Rock. I just got goosebumps when you said that.
And people don't forget that about Mike the Miz, Mike McGann.
I know he was a two-time Grand Slam champion, but I didn't think about that he was the only one.
He's the only one in history. He's won every title in WWE that a man can win except the Rumble.
He'll win the Rumble next year.
And a lot of people forget he's been a sole survivor on the Survivor Series thing. He's won the Survivor Series elimination match.
I remember that, yeah. But
I don't count Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I don't count Andre Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
No.
I mean, I can see him winning that, like you said, on his way out the door.
Yeah. If he win the Royal Rumble, I don't know if he will go at the heavyweight title. He might will go back, get like something like the Intercontinental or something like that. Because that's the one that everybody talk about. They done more prestige and all this, and all the Razor Ramon, Mr. Perfect, all them guys had it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know that. That's the only thing he ain't won, the Royal Rumble.
That's the only thing he never won, the Royal Rumble.
What about Randy Orton though?
Randy's won everything, but I don't think he's done it twice like the Miz. I think when the Miz won the WWE title,
Right.
World Heavyweight title,
Right.
then he won the WWE Universal title when he cashed in on McIntyre.
Right.
That's what made him a second Grand Slam champ, win the other title. Now Randy's won everything, but this right here will put Randy in that conversation as a 2-time Grand Slam champ.
Yeah, it would.
Youngest World Heavyweight champion ever, Randy Orton.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh.
RKO out of nowhere, or does somebody get they? No, it's not attitude just no more. We'll go back to the old way, the FU.
Yeah, the FU.
Or
Yeah.
the STFU.
No, we're gonna call that mother Geritol complete. That's what we're gonna call that.
Yeah, well, Mike Cole said, John Cena.
The vitamin B12.
When they had the match with Cody and Cole said, John Cena with the AA, I said, Cole, he's a heel. It's not the attitude adjustment no more. It's the FU.
It's the FU. Right.
Horrible. It's horrible.
I want to pick. My heart is on Randy.
At home in his backyard.
Right. That's why I said, you know, damn well every time somebody's in their home, they always lose. They always lose. And
there's a cycle.
I don't know. But if your boy come out again, Travis Scott, I think because ain't nobody seen Cody.
Right.
If he come out, I think Cody gonna get him.
Oh yeah,
unless Cody gonna come out and turn on Randy Orton, I don't see that happening.
No,
I hope that don't happen. You'll have everybody confused. Like, what are you doing?
That's a hard one. It's a hard one though, because I'm like you. Nobody wins at home the big one.
Nope.
But I say this: when The Rock went on McAfee's show a couple weeks ago,
right,
and pretty much aired his dirty laundry out there by saying that one statement. If I was in control of WrestleMania, some things would have went a different way. I didn't like some of the booking. He didn't say what he didn't like, what matches he did not like. He said because Triple H did inform him who was going over. But he said, I would just make some minor tweaks and changes. Now, they said that rubbed Triple H wrong for him to go on McAfee's show live on YouTube, ESPN, syndicated to say something like that. Something could have had a backstage that need to be there. And I mean, The Rock really emphasized that. Now, saying that, does Triple H get The Rock back? I put the title on his boy. Say, okay, you wanted Cena to be the champ. We gave you Cena, but now I'm putting the title on my boy. That's the only thing that's got me worried right there.
I hadn't thought about it.
Because, I mean, we ain't backstage, but we read all the dirt sheets. We see everything that comes on social media and on the rest of the website. We know they're friends between The Rock and Triple H right now on booking in WWE.
Well, see, The Rock come in the door just because he get on the board and think he can just take over and do whatever he want. But you've been filming movies while Triple H been grinding.
He's been grinding.
So why you trying to put this guy on Front Street? You can't do it because you're trying to film movies. If you're gonna film movies, you'll hire somebody else to do it. Your daughter can't do it.
And that was a power move by Vinnie Mac, because Vinnie Mac knew he had to step down.
Right.
From the board of directors.
Right.
So that was one of his last moves he made for stepping down, was appointing Rock to the board of directors. I mean, and we all know, ain't no secret. Vince McMahon and Rock, they like this. They tight.
Right.
He's more, his alliance is to Vince McMahon over Triple H any day.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon gave him an opportunity, and he went from The Rock to Dwayne, The Rock to Johnson.
Yeah, and he had his whole family,
Kind of back. Soul Man got him in the door.
Right.
He had Rikishi to get him over. So, he gonna tell you he's more aligned to Vince McMahon over Triple H. So I'm hard on this one to make a pick, because I feel like, if anything, we know Triple H, when he gets a chance to tell you 2 words, suck it, he loves to do it. And this could be a good moment to The Rock and the board of directors that I'm in control. Randy wins the title. I'm going to say Cena retains.
That's what I think something gonna happen and he gonna retain it, man. Because I just don't see them letting Randy win in his hometown. Now, if he do, I'm gonna tear this house all to pieces. But I don't know, man. I'm about like you.
One person that won in their hometown and they tore the stadium down. When Punk beat Cena at Money in the Bank.
Oh yeah.
When Punk won and he left out in the crowd, And my boy was there in Chicago that night. He said, man, they tore the parking lot and stadium down, celebrating for Punk because he won. Man, if Randy wins in St. Louis,
man, he may win it, dog. I mean, you never know. Think about it. Randy's he's the only veteran left.
That's it. From
if you
that
really
era,
think about it,
that's it. From that era, he's the only one.
he sure is.
I mean, you can't say Cena because this is the farewell tour, so Cena's gonna be there.
Right.
Where the Miz? We count the Miz.
No, the Miz, but Randy been alone.
He came behind Randy.
Yeah, the one who the Miz. Yeah, the Miz came behind. Yeah, the one I'm saying.
Yeah, but from that era, Randy's the last one.
He's like the last one, ain't he?
Yeah, him and the Cena, the last Mohegans. Then the next era would be the Miz and R-Truth. That'd be the last two.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, both of them been in there about 20-some years. I think Randy's 24, 25 now?
Something like that. Duh.
I'm going Cena. I want to see Randy win in St. Louis.
I want to see Randy win, but I ain't gonna, man. I put you like this. My heart says Randy, my mind says Cena.
Same day. My heart won't Randy win at home, but I feel like
it's telling me no.
Man, only on WOD do you get that right here, y'all. You don't get nowhere else. Good pay-per-view coming up. Before we get ready to jump off DoeBoy, we on this Cena farewell tour. So every time I have a guest come on WOD in this Cena farewell tour, what's one of your biggest, fondest memories of John Cena?
Boy,
I got a good one for you.
Hold on.
And it includes you.
Oh, it includes me.
It includes you.
Okay, hold on. Let me think about that for a second. When he was in the ring with Stephanie McMahon, that had to be the most classic stuff because they went a little too far with that one, and I was like, Lord.
You need to go watch that on YouTube if y'all don't know what he's talking about. You're right. They went way over the line.
Right. So that was good. That was real good.
My John Cena memory, and mine would be him dropping the title Punk in Chicago. I thought that was the most humblest gesture the guy could do because that set Punk on a whirlwind.
Yeah.
Much momentum behind him, but not even that. Might go back to when John Cena came to the Carolinas for a house show and was not advertised to wrestle.
Yeah.
And he did a match, steel cage match with Kane at PNC in Raleigh. And it was a good match. And he hung around for a long time after the match because it was a house show. Hung around, took pictures, signed autographs. But it was a fun day because I was on the floor seats on this side of the arena, and you was on the floor seat on the other side of the arena.
And we didn't even know.
So we both met, the steps was going out of PNC.
Yeah.
Hey, cuz, what you doing here? You said, man, I had to come see this one.
Yeah.
That was a good Cena moment because, like you said, Cena that night was not advertised to be on the house show. It was a lot of NXT stars.
Yeah.
And I think Cena had traveled in just to hang out. But I think being it was a house show with so much NXT people, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little upset. Like, hey, man, I want to see some of that. Hey, no disrespect. I like to see the NXT people. But I want to see the WWE. And then next thing you know, that music, your time is up, the time is now. And then he fought Kane. And I said, man, we ended up getting a great main event. Still came back.
I thought they were just playing his music at first.
Right.
Until I looked up, I'm like, no. And everybody else beside me starts screaming and hollering. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I said, because he was a U.S. champ back then. And they
said,
he was advertised to be there. And he said at the end of the night, house show, anything goes. It's all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you won't never know what you're going to see. You'll see something that you would never
see on TV.
Yeah.
He told us, he said, hey, man, I flew in just to hang out tonight. And I saw that the crowd was not into the show. Kane was a general manager back then as the on the storyline. I said, Kane, let's do a quick match. And man, we had a good one.
Yep. I remember seeing this was a long time, over 20 years ago, probably.
Mm-hmm.
and The Rock was the champ, and we was in Fayetteville with SmackDown, and he walked out going to the ring, and Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit ran out and they jumped him on the ramp, and I thought it was funny because they looked like they came to his waist. That's how tall they look. But when I went home and watched what I had recorded, it wasn't on TV.
Yes, they edit so much out.
Right. So you that's why I tell anybody, like a buddy of mine today, he was telling me, talking about the old days with the WCW and WWE wars and who was his favorite wrestlers, about, because what brought it up was he was talking about the same thing you were talking about when Big Papa Pump told Pat McAfee that if you need me, I'm right here for you. That's what sparked the conversation. We was talking about who your favorite wrestler back in the day, who's your favorite tag team, who had the best entrance music. We just start reminiscing our old stuff, man. And
y'all about had the best entrance music.
Right. And I tell anybody that watch this podcast, if you've never been to an event, whether it's live or house show, need to check it out. It's a life-changing experience.
It is. And I tell everybody, I went to all the mom and pop shows around here. Never went to the WWE shows and ride. And finally, I said, as an adult, I said, I'm going to go to one. Right. I used to support all the local people in the indies. Like, hey, I'd rather go pay that $25, $40 to an indie show, support them. But man, when I went, matter of fact, the one I bumped into you with was the first live WWE show I went to.
Really?
Yeah. That
was my, I want to say third. Might be my third. I never had that good of seats before.
Right. So that was the one I said, it was my first one. Yeah. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go all out. I'm going on the floor. I'm going to the barricade to give him a high five. My son was excited because we on the floor. And then we got to see Cena. Got to take pictures with everybody. Then after that, man, you get the fever. James talks about it all the time, the fever. You get that WWE fever, man. I was in Virginia Beach. Now, if they hit Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, or Georgia, I was there.
Yeah. I feel you.
But like you said, if you've never been, especially a house show, you get to see a whole lot more. They're really out of character. But if you don't get a chance to go to a house show or live show, whether it's WWE, AEW, still, man, I tell this all the time. Hey, TNA came right here 5 minutes away from where we are located at. And Booker T was there. And by the time my brother-in-law called me and said, man, you won't believe it. Booker T was here. The word got out and it sold out. Yeah. It was already halfway sold out. But once they found out that Booker T, Kurt Angle, the main event Mafia was there, couldn't get in. By the time I got there, they had put a thing on the door, no more entrance. So, if you get a chance, AEW, TNA, Ring of Honor, WWE, anything, hey, do yourself a favor, spend that money, buy that ticket, and go enjoy a great show.
Yeah.
It's nothing like it.
Nope, nothing like it. I'm ready for the next one we going to hit.
Yes, sir. We ain't hit one. They ain't been around our way, man, but we got to plan one. We got to do the AEW show, NWA, something coming up soon.
It don't matter. I'll hit either one.
Yes, sir. We got to hit the road. We did road trip again.
Yes, sir.
Well, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. WOD, you heard me and DoeBoy's picks right here for Backlash. Don't forget, as soon as Backlash is over with, my good brother, my good friend, Mouth Off with Mike, will be back on Boom Broadcasting for the nightcap. We got plenty more shows coming on throughout the day, getting you ready for Backlash. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so whenever a video drops or we go live on Boom Broadcasting, just like me and DoeBoy, you get that notification so you can tune in. This is Sean, that's DoeBoy, and we are out, and we will see you on the nightcap.